Hi guys, Mrs. Baxter here. I'm all set up in a Blackboard sample session because I want to go over some Blackboard troubleshooting tips today. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk you through audio troubleshooting. That seems to be one of the biggest sources that we see in Blackboard. There are a few times when things cannot be solved on our own, and there is a tech support website and number that I can give you. But in the session, there are many things you can do that often help get that audio running once more. I'm going to turn on my talk button here in the Class Connect session, but I'm recording my whole screen, so you should still hear and see everything I'm doing. When I turn on that talk button, you'll notice that I have a black bar that moves up and down. That's the first thing to check for. If you come into the session and you don't hear anything, check to make sure that that teacher has that black audio bar moving because they're speaking, and that they have that little microphone lit up right by their name. That will tell you if they're talking or if the students are working on something independently, and it should be quiet at that point. If you do see the teacher talking, but you're not hearing anything, you should run an audio setup. An audio setup is right up here. It's this blue mic with the red gear. You have to turn off your talk button in order to run it. So let me turn that off and then click this audio setup and walk through it with you. When you open up your audio setup, the first thing you're setting up is what you're hearing, where that is coming from. And you'll notice I have two options here. I have selected my headset. I want to hear through my headset, but I could also choose the speakers from my computer. Once you have selected where you want the audio to run through, you click OK. If you don't see a device plugged in, maybe you have an external speaker or you forgot to plug in your headphones, so you plug them in really quick, click that refresh button and then it will show everything that's available for your audio. After you've selected where the audio should come from, you can test it, push play, and a little
Welcome to the
recorded
audio
message
setup
will come
wizard.
through. If you
This
hear it and
wizard
it
will help you
works,
set the optimum
just
levels
push
for
stop
both your microphone and speaker.
and you'll click yes. You can adjust the volume from that point as well. After you have set up your incoming audio, you're going to set up your outgoing. So that is, for me, this headset microphone that I'm using. Many computers, especially laptops, often have an internal microphone that you can use. So if you do not have a headset with a microphone, try to see if your computer will let you use the internal microphone. If it doesn't have one, many desktops do not have one, and some older laptops may not have an internal microphone. Then you will need some sort of a headset or a mic. These are available for free if you will call the tech support line. That will be at the end of this video. And I also can send out links for very inexpensive headset mics. I mean, we're talking $2 to $3, which will work. So once you have then selected where you want your audio to come from, your mic, hit OK, and it'll walk you through a similar process, but where you record. I would push this record button, start talking, and you see the green lines that have come up here are telling me that it's coming through nicely. I hit stop. I can always play it back, make sure I can hear it the right way. It's the volume that I want. And that wraps up my audio setup. I push yes. I was able to get that taken care of. And you click OK. After you're done running an audio setup, you may hear a whole bunch of catch-up audio going on if someone was talking while you were in the audio setup. So it might sound like their voice gets really fast for a couple minutes, but that's just the audio catching up to where you were now. To check for an audio delay, if that's going on, if maybe your internet connection had a bit of a lapse, you will look next to your name, and all the way to the right hand side there would be either a microphone with some yellow or red lines. Yellow means there's a little bit of a delay, it should catch up soon. Red means it's a long delay, and that may require the teacher turning off their mic or the speaker turning off their mic for just a few minutes so that you can hear once more. If you ever see a pencil with some yellow or red lines, that means there's a visual delay. So what you're seeing on the screen isn't quite caught up to where the presenter has it. And usually that just takes some time to catch catch up. Once that internet connection resumes, usually that will catch up quickly. If it's maybe the weather is really bad where you are and that's impacting your internet connectivity, it may be helpful to log out of a session and log back in to see if that takes care of some of those lags. The final thing I wanted to go over, if you ever have a screen issue come up, sometimes some of these panels get detached. You see, you can move them around and arrange them however you like to fit best. But if that ever happens, in order to repair that, you're going to come up here to View and click Restore Default Layout. You're going to watch my screen change here when I select this. It jumps everything back to the side. You can open back up that video box if your teacher's using the video. If they're not, you can always hide it, and that gives you a little bit more space to see the participants in the chat here. But since I'm using the video, I'll keep that open. And you can extend and feel free to make this as large as you need to make it fit for your viewing style. The last piece that you can change, if you come down here to Edit Preferences, there are a few different things that you can do from this point. You can adjust some general notifications. A lot of people like to change that audible notification when you get that little audio going off telling you the recording has started, the recording has stopped, the timer has gone off. And also visual notifications, those little boxes that come up in the corner, those can be turned off as well from this Preferences station. So those are a couple of troubleshooting tips. I will also send out the website for our tech support and the phone number as well. That phone number does often get busy quickly, so it's usually worth checking in on the website first, and they can give you an estimated time that they'll call or an estimated wait time, and maybe even help you troubleshoot from that website before you have to call in and spend a long time on the phone. But hopefully that helps. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to let me or your homeroom teacher know. Thanks, guys.